And welcome to another edition of Lab Rats. My name is Andy Walker.
I'm Sean Carruthers.
And we are not in Toronto, folks. No, we're not.
No, this is, you might think that we just sort of turn the cameras around to a different part of Andy's apartment. That's not it. Nope. Now we're in Vancouver.
Lab Rats West. Yeah. No, Sean, you're out here, right? Because you're doing things with Leo Laporte.
I am indeed. We're starting the lab with Leo. We just shot our first week. By the time you get this, it won't be out yet. April 23rd it'll start, but looking like a really good production. So
doesn't look like it's not a very good show, except that the ones that I was on last week. It's true.
We knew he would say that. So what are we going to look at today? I see the Vista machine.
Yeah, today, thank you to Dell for sending me the Inspiron 6400 here. We're going to have a look at UAC, or User Account Control, what it is, why it's important, and UAC tweaking tips.
Yeah, we've actually talked about UAC a little bit in previous episodes, mostly about how annoying it is. So you're going to find a few ways to make it less annoying?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to make it UAC. I'm going to make people happy that UAC is there and not angry at it.
All right. That sounds like a good plan.
Let's take a look at this message and we'll be right back.
This is a llama. It carries luggage. This is a burrito. It is lunch. This is Camtasia Studio 4. It makes screencasts. Now answer our trivia question. What screencasting tool is not woolly or made of beans? I'll be back at the end of the show with the answer.
So UAC, User Account Control.
Mm-hmm.
What do you know about it?
Well, I remember UAC, I think it was part of the video game Doom or something. There was some connection there with gaming, but that's not what we're talking about here. I know with Windows XP, the operating system would allow you to do almost anything you wanted. It would install spyware automatically. You could install anything that was bad that would, change the flow of your system internals and make bad things go on in the background without your knowledge.
It's like, it's like kind of giving all access to, I always think of it, XP is like going to a YouTube concert and giving everybody who comes through the door access to the seating areas, the refreshment areas, the stage, backstage, and actually Bono's underpants. Right?
It's just essentially...
You come through the door, you have unlimited access to and that was what XP was all about.
Right.
Now, so UAC, what it does now is it actually filters out permissions now. So if you were an administrator, if you have a backstage pass where you can go and you can fiddle with the lights and you can, eat Bono's M&Ms.
I thought he only ate potatoes.
I don't know. Anyway, but you get the idea, right? You have access to all the forbidden areas to tweak things inside the stadium. Whereas, so that would be administrator level permissions, whereas your average user, your average ticket holder who comes to see the concert would be a standard user on Windows Vista. So you can only spend time in your own seat and modify your own environment, and you can't affect things that would hurt everybody else in the stadium.
Exactly.
That makes sense?
Okay.
So it was very important for Microsoft to change this on Vista, because what was happening was anybody was coming through the door and making any changes that they wanted. And so even if you have an all-access pass in Vista, even if you're an administrator in Vista, when you go to change something, you still get a pop-up that says, "Are you sure?"
Well, of course, because you want to make sure that when you're about to change something that's really crucial to the functioning of the operating system, that you're really aware of what you're doing. Because, anyone can run as administrator in Windows Vista. Right. And, not all of these people that are going to run in administrator mode know everything they need to know about how those things function.
Right, exactly. So let's just going to pop this up real quick. I'm going to create a task here that's going to trigger the user account control. So this is a very typical UAC dialogue. And it basically says, are you sure you want to do this, right? And there's a continue and there's a cancel button there. So
if you started this program, continue.
Right.
So if it comes out of nowhere, don't continue.
Right, because what may happen in that case is that a virus or spyware or something has snuck onto your system and it's trying to make a system change of some sort. So if you're sitting there doing your thing and this pops up and you haven't initiated a change, then you want to hit cancel, just like that. right? Because something bad is going to happen.
Right.
The problem with that is that this pops up for pretty much everything. You want to change the time. Let me show you. I want to change the time here. Change the time and date settings. And I click on that.
Bing.
Yeah.
If you start this action, continue. That could get annoying. I mean, not that you're going to be changing the time very regularly, but...
No, but then here's the thing, is that ultimately, you know, now understandably a virus could mess with this or whatever, your time and your date, so it's sort of important. But the problem is there's lots and lots of alerts all over the place, and eventually you're going to go crazy.
Yep.
So there are ways to modify and make this thing, make user access control a lot easier to deal with.
Now we should mention one thing for people that have looked at the Vista beta earlier. The final version of Vista did refine this quite a lot. Initially, it was like bang, bang, bang. You had to go through 4 click-throughs in a lot of cases whenever anything happened. And now they've gotten it down to 1 click in a lot of cases. Just, did you do this? Yes, no. Yeah, let's go. Instead of, did you want this? Are you sure? Right. Okay, now click this. Right. So it is a lot better. So
it's a lot more refined, you're right, and it is less head-banging. However,
right.
I think people, you know, advanced users, people that really know what they're doing, are gonna, you know, they're going to be inclined to turn it off.
Right, which is not a great idea.
Not a great idea.
Because then essentially you're handing the keys over to the people, or the all-access pass to anybody that uses the system, including people that are running applications from the web.
That said, I'm going to be a badass and show you how to do it, because I know you're smart.
Okay.
Ready?
All right.
So but after that, I'm going to show you sort of a middle ground and some other tweaks you can do. If you're really responsible about your computer and you're willing to tweak in the background. So let's start by just turning it off.
Okay.
So I'm going to click down here on the Start button, and I'm going to type msconfig, which is, of course, is a hidden utility you may be familiar with that allows you to do some tweaking in the background. Now, of course, as soon as I do that, UAC is going to kick in. I'm going to choose Continue here. And I'm going to go all the way over to Tools. This is a new tab in the System Configuration tool. And if you scroll down here, you can actually see there's 2 entries here. One says Disable UAC, and one says Enable UAC. So you can actually turn it on and off in that area there, which is... Now, if you do that, you will be required to do a reboot.
And because it's, you know, at the system level.
At the system level,
okay.
Exactly. So I'm not going to do it here, but all you do is click on that, click OK, or actually click Launch. As you can see in here, actually, it's a behind-the-scenes kind of command. So theoretically, you could actually type this long command at a command prompt to turn it off.
Right, and that looks like it's doing something in the registry.
There you go.
Okay.
So now, that's a kind of a complicated way to do things. There is actually a little applet called Tweak UAC that I found on the internet, which is really great. And it gives you, instead of on and off, it gives you 3 modes.
Okay.
So let's open this one up here. Click Continue. And so leave UAC on, right? Default setting. Turn UAC off. And again, this is just another way to turn it. It'll go to the registry and make that edit, just like we did with the other tool or just now.
Right.
But there's an in-between one. And this is actually quite handy. This is called Switch UAC to the quiet mode. Shh, be fairly quiet. We're hunting registries. And so what this does is basically, for all the standard users on the system, people that you've given restricted access, UAC is still on for them.
Right.
When you're in administrative mode, when you're logged on as an administrator, it turns UAC off. So it's kind of a middle ground. It's not perfect. You still get some bug screens and that sort of thing, but it's actually not a bad compromise.
Right. Can you do this on, you know, at an application level? So this application is cool and that application is not?
No.
Okay, so that's not quite as powerful as
it's not ideal. And I do think that we're going to see Microsoft, when they issue Service Pack 1 perhaps towards the end of 2007, you know, I think it would be wise to implement a UAC control system that will allow you to do those kinds of granular level things. I think that would be a great, maybe it could be a Windows Vista Ultimate add-on. Maybe they'll provide that later on, I don't know. But certainly I'd like to see that happen. Now, so this is available at uac.com, and it's just a real quick download. I think it literally is just a registry tweak of some sort. Just
wouldn't take much writing for that, probably.
No, absolutely. Yeah. So that said, now, okay, so now that's the easy part of the... we
are now in quiet mode.
Quiet mode has been established.
Awesome. Are you an administrator? Are we? Have we done with this? Have we set it so that we're not going to see this again for the rest of this demo?
Well, no, because now I'm going to go into the local security policy editor, and we're going to actually do some more advanced type of tweaks to UAC now.
Okay.
But,
I'm hoping one of these is related to passwording.
Because
it's very easy right now. And one of the things that people have come out against with this one, I mean, we've talked before about how the Mac makes you enter your password every time you try to do something that will change the way the system works. And how XP didn't do that at all, so you could get away with anything. UAC is a nice step in the right direction, obviously, but if all you have to do is hit OK to do something nasty, then you might just start hitting OK just out of force of habit, and you don't actually stop to think about what you're doing, whereas entering that password makes you think about why.
So that's what the Apple does, right? That's what the Mac OS does.
Do that.
So when you want to change something, instead of getting the continue or cancel dialog box, you get a enter your password. You're about to do something serious.
Right, and it's in versions of Unix and Linux, it's roughly the same. If you're running as a standard user and you have to do anything that changes the system, you have to enter something called super user mode, where you will log in as someone else to accomplish that action, and then you can log back out again.
Right, right. Okay, well, let me show you, because this is actually a great tip. So I'm going to click Start again here, and I type Policy. And the local security policy item is going to come up here. As opposed to digging all the way into Control Panel, I'm just going to, this is a quick way to get at it. So let's go into there. And so the
Again,
local...
I love that, the fact that you don't have to start digging through menus to find things in Vista.
Isn't it wonderful? I just really do. I really enjoy it too. Okay, so what you're going to see is something a little bit like the registry. I'm going to click here on the local policies, the little triangle there, and then on the security options. And what's great about this is that on the right-hand pane here, you'll see a bunch of different settings for security on the system. Actually, let's go. Should we go full screen here? Yeah.
Sure.
And scroll all the way down here to UAC, and as you can see, there's a bunch of different settings here.
Oh, good.
Now, item number 2 is called Behavior of the Elevation Prompt for Administrators. Double-click on that. Now, I've got 3 options here. I can choose. Now, we've gone into quiet mode, right? So this is Elevate without a prompt, which is the quiet mode setting. Prompt for credentials and prompt for consent. So consent is that continue or cancel button.
Right.
Now you asked about the password.
Right.
Prompt for credentials.
So it needs to know who you are and what your secret key is.
That's it, exactly. You have to identify yourself. So, so I've just changed that there, right-clicked, and so let's now initiate a change that would normally prompt a continue cancel.
Okay. All right, so
now
now,
what happens?
Okay, so you can be running as, say, Dell user here, but if Andy's the one that's administering the system, it'll allow you to log in as Andy for the purposes of making that change.
That's right. Although what I've done here is I've told it to do that for the administrator. There's actually another setting in local security policy for standard users, for example.
Right.
So right below that says Behavior of the Elevation Prompt for standard users.
Okay.
So prompt for credentials is currently set.
Again, so you can change this for someone that knows what they're doing. They don't have to go through all of that, but someone who doesn't know what they're doing necessarily, like your kids, if you want them to be able to install a program on the system, they'll have to come to you to get your password.
That's right, exactly. That's good. So there you go. So that's a handy tool. It's also a little bit more Apple-like for those that really sort of like that advanced features that the Mac OS offers from a security perspective. Now let me just show you. We have. I mean, there's lots of different features in here. To me, there's they're not that exciting, but there's one that I did want to show you here, which is switch to the secure desktop.
Right.
Now, so the secure desktop, what happens is when UAC kicks in, it sends that dialog box to what they call the secure desktop, a place where no applications can see. It's visually represented on your screen, but an application can't get at that layer of the graphics output.
Right.
The idea being that spyware or viruses can't see what's going on in that dialog box to try to circumvent it.
And we've referenced this, I think, in previous episodes, and we're saying, well, we can't really see the UAC prompt in our screen capture here, and that's because our screen capture software doesn't have access to that layer.
That's right. And in fact, the reason why you're seeing it on a screen capture today is because I have disabled the secure desktop layer, because it's the only way we can capture it with our software. Well,
let's turn it on and try it again, and we'll just do a quick example of this.
Okay, well, I'll enable it.
So our screen capture software is running at this layer, and the secure desktop is at a level above that this can't actually reach to. So now when we do this, tweak UAC, you're not going to see this. What we're seeing, and Ryan, if you can take a quick look at this, is it's all gray around the outside here. And we can actually still see the UAC like we normally would.
But on the screen capture?
But on the screen capture, you're not seeing it right now.
Not seeing it at all.
So we'll do a little bit of A/B right here.
So it's like you guys out there are a virus, and we're not going to show you.
You didn't just call our viewers a virus.
I did. Sorry.
All right. Let's spin that back into position.
Cancel. So there you go. So that's just one of the other items. There's not much else to talk about at this point around UAC. I think that it's one of the you can play with some of the features yourself, but that's the place to do it. There's about 8 or 9 settings. Some to me don't make any sense.
Here's a question then for you regarding the secure desktop. Obviously, we're turning it off because we need access to the UAC for the purpose of the demo. But what would an average user want to disable that for?
I don't know. Why would they? You tell me.
To make their desktop less secure, I guess. I can't think of it. If you can think of a good reason, let us know, because we'd like to know what you've been using Vista for and why the secure desktop may be interfering with what you're doing. Because I can't think of a good reason to turn it off at this point beyond screen capturing.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. I don't know. All right, well, so if you have a brilliant idea about that, send us an email to feedback@labrats.tv. Should we take a break for another commercial?
I think that would be a good idea.
And then we'll wrap it up.
Earlier in the show, we asked you what screencasting product is not woolly or made of beans. Is it A, a llama, B, a burrito, or C, Camtasia Studio 4? The answer is Camtasia Studio 4. Learn more at labrats.techsmith.com.
So UAC, what do you think?
I'm liking it. I think it's going to make the operating system a lot more secure. There's been a lot of talk about how Mac was more secure than Windows just in general because of the fact that you have to enter your password. And I think this is going to take Vista a long way towards being way more secure, almost as secure as the Mac is.
Absolutely. Hey, speaking of Vistas, check this out.
Oh, all right. Hey, there's our man Ryan over there on the handheld, and he's going to take us over to see the scenic Vista we're overlooking here.
Check this out. This is English Bay out here. This is looking west out of the 35th floor of the apartment building we're on.
35th floor.
Beautiful.
And yeah, you can even see the boats out there. It's super awesome. I love this. Now, this is just a temporary place. We'll have to give this up very shortly, unfortunately. Anyways.
But fun. That's fun for Labrats West, for sure, for this time around.
Sorry. I got caught up in this. All right.
All right. So, and you want to learn more about Vistas, not just and Windows?
Oh, no. Oh.
Check it out. My new DVD.
He went there. He totally went there.
Getting started with Windows Vista, hosted by author, TV personality, and Vista guru Andy Walker.
You too can become a Vista guru by sending $20 to...
Hey man, it's $24.95.
$24.95.
GettingStartedVideo.com. Check it out. Everything you need to know to get started with Windows Vista. So this is a little too advanced for you, and you want to learn. It's 90 minutes where I take you through all the cool stuff in Vista, what you need to know, and what's different from XP and that kind of thing. You can have this one.
Thanks.
It's a freebie.
It's what I've always wanted.
All right. And I think we have some photographs, right?
We do have some photographs.
Oh, wait. No, I'll save it till next time.
Yes.
I have another book coming up, but I'll tell you next time.
Yeah, one plug per show is enough. Thank you. So we have some photographs, as you mentioned.
Yes.
This is James Roberts from Parts Unknown. He's like, go Labrats, go.
Hey, what happened? He has a spelling mistake here or something, does he?
Either he's covering up for a letter that said, like, Andy is a self-promoting wiener.
Yes.
Or maybe it's
the 27th letter of the alphabet.
Maybe it's a big apostrophe.
Could be. But awesome. And where is he? Is he in Australia?
He's not in Australia. We don't know where he is.
In America. You can tell us. Yeah, well, if you send your photographs in to us.
Yeah, let us know where you are.
Where are you? I just noticed the other day on our survey, we have a new survey. And, there's people in Zambia, Norway, Sweden, India. Mm-hmm. Really wacky places in the world, so.
Space.
That's you, buddy.
Yeah.
Anyway, any more?
Oh, yeah, but James, you should take this photograph again, correct that spelling mistake, but put it in permanent ink right across your forehead.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
We'll put you up on the show again if you do that for us. Speaking of Australia, this is Ara. I think that's how you pronounce that, but he is from Sydney, Australia.
He is a machine.
He is a machine. He's a Terminator, and all I can say is that if this is really him, I'm glad he's on our side.
Absolutely. Love it. That's great. stuff. See, you know, Labrat's fans are smart too.
They are.
Photoshop, creative and smart and everything.
Smart, attractive,
Brilliant
creative.
people.
Yes. All right, I think that's it. Unless you have any more pitches you'd love to throw in
No,
right here.
no, I'll save them for next time. I'll save them. Although somebody did say in the survey too, hey Andy, we thank you for your books. They did. They actually said thank you for your books. So it's a service to you guys out there in Labrat's land.
Did you fill out the survey?
Yes. All right, well, that's it for us from Labrat's West here in Vancouver. My name is Andy Walker.
I'm Sean Carruthers.
And we'll see you next time.
Are you ready?
Kombucha Wonder Drink. It's Wonder Drink with kombucha. You know what kombucha is?
It's borscht with fizzy bubbles.
No, close. Kombucha is tea that's been sitting there fermenting until it has this gigantic mushroom cap-like thing,
Yes.
and you skim the liquid off.
Okay, so it's stinky tea.
It's really disgusting tea. Good for you, though.
Tea with bacteria, delicious.
It's like the yogurt of teas.
Nice.
And we're rolling.
All right, are you ready?